Shy,
What up?
thank you
What
for
up? What
having me,
up?
brother. Thank you for having me. I want to make it clear. I'm not doing you no favors, bro. I'm just supporting you. I started watching your YouTube videos since day one, and some of your comments they don't bother me, but I like that you always shared different perspectives. That you're coming from someone with knowledge, not just talking to talk, and I respect, everyone's point of view, but for sure, someone who actually lived it. Uh, that we have some mutual friends, especially being in the music business. So I'm just here to support, man. I appreciate everything.
No.
Even when you talk shit.
I appreciate you, bro. Again, to the audience, he didn't have to come here. I talked a lot of shit season one. I felt the need, but again, they didn't have to be here, and they're here. So I appreciate you, bro, for your support, and I thank you for being here.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's all I think it's who my brother and I are, right? For sure, we could probably do other YouTube right channels, and no disrespect to them. One day we'll do the Johnny Mitchell and Ron Too Strong and all that. But for the most part, about uplifting and hopefully helping someone out. It's who we always been, and us being from the shy, for sure. I think that's where I'm gonna lend my support, and hopefully that I'll be able to help you out and grow the channel.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, bro. P, you in the building?
I'm here, Shai. Hello to you. Hello to everyone watching. Good
Salutes.
evening. Thank you for having us.
Hey, Shai, what I wanted to add was that you know I didn't have the opportunity to read Cartel Wives while I was in prison. It came out 2017, so I had to wait a few years before I read it.
Right.
Um, uh, Listening to it through your channel, for sure, it had a different feeling. And I you just finished the book. I thought that the book was amazing, to be honest. Especially that we're able to kind of hear people's perspective as well. Made me just sit back and think about so much, right?
Mm.
Listening to the book again. To some people it could be entertainment, but for my brother and I, that's our lives, our wives. It's our lives, what we've been living through. And um, I don't mind people's opinions, right?
Hmm.
Again, it's our life. I'm not, I never cared what other people think. I just live my life to, for me and for my family. And hearing it, through your perspective and through the comments, right? I enjoyed it. I had a different view of the book, and I'm happy. I really think that their story sounds way better than ours. So
Well, again, they were able to tell it in a more sit down, less chaotic way. Like I was telling the audience, I'm sure with surviving El Chapo, it felt to y'all like you had a whole crew on top of you, and it's like let's get these stories out, let's get these stories told. And with them, it was more like let's take our time and get these thoughts down and get these thoughts out. But I think the two things complemented each other. It was very easy to see the story through both lenses and put them together because what we missed out on in one we got in the other, and what we missed out in both I can see through the documentary and through all these other things that are coming that we'll see the rest of that.
yeah, for sure. Just so you know, the podcast was filmed, in 9 months, both seasons. So, um, as you know, being, we're not behind the production.
Right.
Someone else decides what stories make it, what stories don't. I think they did a great job overall. Um, uh, and like you said, what we have the documentary coming out, be out later on this year, which is going to be big, I think. And then for sure, now we just started working on our book with the great author, director, and producer Jaquavis Coleman, who those who've been in prison probably know who he is, but he's a 10 times New York Times bestseller, and he's more known for his fiction, hood novels, right? But we're excited. So with all those projects, putting them together combined, you guys will probably get a bigger picture for sure. And hopefully later after that, then you'll be able to watch the TV series and learn even more, right?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy to think that the you say you get a much bigger picture. It's crazy to think that a bigger picture is even possible, considering what we've listened to and what you guys have gone through. What was your real life? Um, you know, there's a hashtag that I use a lot called your life, my entertainment, and that's basically what it's been for us as far as our side of this process goes. What was real life for y'all has been us building community and hanging out with each other and talking about it. So it's amazing that there's so much more to tell, and it could even be a bigger picture than what the huge picture we already saw. It's dope.
Hey, yeah, Shy, this Pete. I want to first tell everyone, man, there's no way I want people to think that we're glorifying any of this, man. If you really pay attention to our story, it's about the pain we've had, through all this, and we're still suffering through. And at the same time, when you go back and you listen to the podcast, I'm not a YouTuber, man. I'm not you know, my profession is storytelling. I was on the street. I consider myself a hustler first.
Right.
And so that's people might criticize certain things, but not everyone's made to be on YouTube or is great at articulating their story and their thoughts. I just want to share that with y'all. I mean, this is we're just two simple dudes from little village. At the end of the day.
Kai asks, was all good with the production crew at the end? They seem to omit you and Viv, Pete.
Yeah, like I said it from the beginning, I wasn't fond of it. It's not the route I would have
Mm,
chosen to take on my own. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not a YouTuber. And it's hard to kind of reveal so many aspects of your personal life
right.
to the public, and I wasn't always happy with everything. I could tell you that. And Viv wasn't, especially not while we're dealing with so much.
Right.
And some of the stuff is not for show.
Mm-hmm.
And
Agreed.
you're suffering through a lot. Your kids suffering, and it's hard to open up and to share things.
Right.
I wish I would have known you before. I would probably would have signed you, Shy,
Bro,
and but things happen in life.
we were so close to going and having meetings on that side and having that conversation. Like within my crew, it was like, listen, we got to get over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Whatever's happening over
especially
there.
especially I'm working with I work with different artists, and at that time I was always out looking, right, because I really was about trying to put Chicago artists on
Mhm.
for sure. Of course I inherited that the music from my wife, and but once I was doing it, I was not going to stop until I was successful for sure.
Right. For the audience's sake, there was a time where us as Latino MCs was hoping that somebody would inject money into the Latino hip hop scene. And when De Niro Records came around with Kato and Cash, we thought that was an opportunity for us to go get a hold of them and holler at them and say, listen, we got heat over here. We got at least 30 MCs that's hot. Come take your pick, put that money on us, and we'll win. We never got that opportunity because K died before that happened.
Yeah,
Who
well,
knows? Who
because for
knows what it would
sure,
have
I
turned
think
into?
um, Cato, when he started, it was his dream, right? And I always thought like I didn't want to like live someone else's dream. I was looking at it more as a business, and for sure, I think just supporting my wife at the time, and I felt like what, we could do this, and he had the Nero Records, and then we started Plug Entertainment, and truthfully, I don't think anyone should ever own or try to own that name. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's rightfully ours. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody else was plugged like we were. So yeah, as you know, we signed other artists, and I think that's going to continue to this day, right? Even to this day, I'm working on some big things in the music, and behind the scenes for sure. But all these things kind of set us up for us being here today, right?
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. But it's better late than never. Like this is what was destined to be, and here we are. How does he feel about these young artists like Peso, glorifying cartels?
I mean, I don't know if they're glorifying that. I mean, it's just part of the music, the same way we got hip hop and rap and all
Absolutely.
that stuff. They're just telling a story, portraying what goes on, and I enjoy the music. I'm a big fan of all the new music. I love that the Mexican culture has their own space now, and I'm a big fan. Like I said, I love hip hop. I love You know, those corridos. I love what they're doing. You know, Fuerza Regida, Peso Pluma, everybody. You know, Junior H. You know, I'm a big fan of all that. You know, and like I said before, it was weird because we were first in Mexico, and like we were loud ass jewelry and 10 carat earrings. Everybody thought it was weird. You know, like
Right, because they're
you
in
got
trucker hats, jeans, boots, and
yeah.
flannels and shit.
And I could do that too. Like I love
Right,
wearing my hat and my boots, and but they kind of almost looked at us like clowns. You know,
right.
I told you they used to call us like Daddy Yankees, and now it's like that's the way to go. You know, like everyone's doing it.
Jonathan Pantoja, one of the usual suspects, asked if your kids or yourselves are sneakerheads.
Mm, man, I could tell you after being locked up for so long, and you just learn to like the simplicity, man. Like you learn to need for nothing in a way, and that stuff starts being like whatever, Okay, it's nice to have, but whatever, It doesn't like make me feel any different, to spend, $1,000 on some shoes or $60,
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, you know, but you gotta kind of live through what I lived through to understand that, whether you're in a Kia or a Bentley, you know what I mean? It doesn't
Right.
make me feel any different. I've been there, and for my kids, of course, they're sneakerheads. Try to convince them of that. They give me side eye.
I just want to thank you, bro, for for everything, and I hope that you continue, to do great. I have no problem getting back on, collect those questions, right? Those views. Let's see what else you could work on, and I'm just tell you, like, I believe in you. I believe in your channel, your 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 point of view, right? And I'm thankful that I was able to meet you and do this with you for sure. I really hope that it helps out some way somehow. As you, whoever listens to this, I want to tell you, man, there's possibility for you to change your life, man. It's gonna come with sacrifice. I'm not just talking about if you're in drug trafficking. I'm talking about in any type, of those environments that could be hard, a job, a relationship, man. I think our life is a testament, right, of change, right? Today, I'm teaching law enforcement, across the country. I'm working on doing some really big things, and coming from where we come from, little village, right? It's usually bad, but here I am doing something positive, doing some good, right? And I'm hoping that I'll be given the chance to continue, like, uh, do something positive, and hopefully by the time God calls me, I'll have left a positive legacy, you know, um, for my family for sure. So I think that's what I think at the end of the day our story um, is about that we all have the will and the power to change no matter what it is, right?
If
Um,
if there's ever been a redemption story, you guys are it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's my biggest goal is that at the end of the day I do strive to want to have the best redemption story that especially for our culture to be able to look at as an example, right? That we could start off so wrong and and we could end up in a different place, right? And I hope that through my life's work that I'm continuing to doing, in a couple of days I'll be in Washington D.C., right? Uh, Speaking to representatives of the Republican committee, right? And those opportunities would have never came unless I started back then. So if you look at our story, where we started off and what we became and what we're doing now, I think it's a testament of will and God's grace and and redemption and family and love for sure. Hey, God bless to everyone out there in the chat, right? For all those people who are keeping up with our story, right? There's a lot more to come. Hopefully, it'll be more positive things than negative. And for sure, I'll make sure I let Valerie know. And thank you so much. All right.
I just want to see your channel blow up for real. I want to see you continue to grow your channel, continue to put out that good content, continue talk the shit you talk, bro. You're super intelligent, and I enjoy it. Whenever I can, I'm listening in. I'm reading the comments, and I appreciate how much you covered, our story as well. And we hope to continue to produce content that people are interested in. And
Absolutely.
again, maybe go back and check out the podcast or continue, waiting on what's next for us. And everybody who follows the story, man, we thank you guys. We thank you for all the support and thank you for your questions, man. All those people you see, Old Soul, Chuck Chingon, JP the Ghost, Jonathan, everyone. Kai, I see them commenting all the time. I see them participating. I know there's a couple of them that I miss. Adrian Torres, all of them. I see them, and I appreciate the way you guys follow the story.
Did they write any corridos about y'all? That was another question that was in there.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this: if they did, they probably were forbidden to ever, sing about them.